Hello and welcome. My name is Thomas, and in this video we're going to talk about the 5 key fundamental elements of what makes an effective sales page. Okay, so it has been a while since we've had a new episode here on Rightly TV. I did a little bit of a hiatus during the summer months. However, we're going to be back with weekly episodes. So if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Also, head on over to rightly.tv/subscribe. Make sure that you sign up for our email newsletter as well. We're always going to be providing useful tools, tips, and resources, and you're going to want to make sure that you don't miss any of those. Okay, so the first question that we have to answer today is, what is a sales page? So a sales page, in essence, is going to be that home, that place where your product or your service lives. Now, I've seen a number of people in the past as well who have done something as simple, who have added a link to their sidebar to, add a book or something to a cart, or a page on their blog or something like that. However, it's going to be highly recommended that you create some sort of sales page. Now, a sales page in the past and even today has been like this mile-long, page that's full of copy and pictures and, tons of testimonials. And some of those things are useful. However, what I've found with a lot of the clients that I've worked with as I've been building out sales pages for them is that it's good to find some sort of happy medium. A sales page is something that is supposed to not only demonstrate, why somebody should buy a particular product or service, or inform them about what it makes it useful for them. But a sales page goes beyond that. A sales page essentially is the tool that you will show and demonstrate to a person who wants to buy your product or who is interested in your product, how it's going to change their life. So it's not something really that you want to use as a checklist of features. A good sales page will tell a story, and it will show people the benefits, the end result of purchasing your product or your service. Beyond this, a good sales page will actually show people rather than telling people, right? So there's an old adage in copy as well as writing in that, your copy can never be too long, it can only be too boring. The same goes for a sales page in general. So that's why it's good to break it up with pictures as well as good relevant copy, and if you can, video. Video is a great way not only to be able to show what it is that you are offering to someone, but you can also interweave within there a good story or testimonial that shows the bright, smiling faces of people who have already purchased your product or your service. Okay, so those are kind of some basics of what a sales page is. Now let's go ahead and dive in. We'll take a look at 2 different sales pages today. One is for a physical product and another is for a digital product. We're going to break down the 5 fundamental features of what makes an effective sales page. Okay, so the first sales page we're looking at today is one for the Full Focus Planner. This is actually a planner that I use every single day. You can actually see a video that I created on how I use this planner, which you can find at a link below. But this is a beautiful example of a sales page for a physical product, right? So it's got, first of all, a nice background video playing. You don't necessarily have to use video in the background. I recommend not using video unless you can actually hire a videographer to get beautiful footage like this that is specific to your product. But the first thing, and the first item that we want to make sure that we do for an effective sales page is having a clear and readable headline that is focused upon the end user or upon the prospect or person visiting the page, right? So I've seen a ton of different front page or sales page designs that say, "Hi, my name is Bill. I'm a consultant," right? So that's not the type of thing you want to do. You'll see here that says the planner to match your ambitious lifestyle. It's specific to the planner itself as well as the type of person to whom this would be useful, right? So it's very important to have that. Let's take a look at the second sales page we're going to be looking at today, and this is actually for a digital product, right? This is actually for software. And the sales page headline here is every tool you need to build your online platform, right? So again, these things are specific to the person who is going to be using this. It's not saying I'm Fred, I do this. It's saying, the planner to match what it is and for whom it is intended, right? So that is really important. when it comes to building out a sales page. You want to make sure that at the end of the day, you're always putting yourself at the end user, in the end user's shoes. You want to make sure that what it is you are creating is going to be of benefit to them. Remember, people are extremely busy. We want to make sure that whatever it is that we're writing, whether it's a headline, whether it's copy, whether it's images, conveys it to them as quickly as possible. The next thing that we want to make sure that we do beyond a headline is we want to include 2 calls to action typically. Now you can do 1 if you want to, but I typically recommend 2. So the first call to action that we want to include is to buy now, right? We want to make sure that for those people who are already sold, who have already bought into what it is that you are doing, we want to make sure that they can hit the sales page, hit buy now, and get right to that shopping cart section. The second call to action that we want to ensure that we include is some sort of learn more, right? So if we're to click on this, you'll see that it actually starts playing a video, right? So I went ahead and stopped it. But video is a great way to be able to demonstrate to people what is going to be included or what the benefit is in your particular product or service, right? So if we pop on over to this sales page, you'll see that it's the same thing. You can purchase it. So we've got that order now button. You've got that get your platform in a box button. And then you can also click to watch the demo, which then scrolls you down to a video section. Okay, so that's it for that particular section. Again, we want to make sure that we include those 2 calls to action. Now, if you want to, you can just include 1 call to action, and that call to action could be to buy now, and that's it. That's fine. However, I do recommend that you include some sort of learn more or something that's going to give people the opportunity to be able to find out more about what it is. So those 2 options, it's going to give people 2 quick options to take on that particular page. And the third thing that's really important to include in every sales page is some sort of FAQ. So let's take a look here. If we look at this navigation, you'll see that if we click FAQ, it's going to scroll on down. If we go on to this particular sales page, you see that we click FAQ. Again, it's going to scroll on down. So a quick aside too as well. One of the things you'll notice about this sales page is that it is a sales page. Now it does have navigation, but again, it's only 1 page. This is really important. I would highly recommend not setting up a multi-paged website for your product or your service. And the reason is because the more people navigate around a site, the less likely they are to take the action that you want them to take. So by creating a sales page that has navigation that scrolls to various sections, they've got 2 ways to quote unquote navigate your site. That is 1 to click and scroll, or just good old fashioned scrolling. So that's just a quick aside. Okay, so for an FAQ section, an FAQ section is going to do 2 things for you and for the end customer and in terms of the actual sales process. The first is that obviously it's going to answer those common questions. So it's going to cut back on your support requests, and it's going to give people a quick idea or quick answers to questions that commonly come up. That's the idea of an FAQ, right? But the second thing that's great about an FAQ for you from a sales perspective is that an FAQ is a great way to be able to overcome objections, right? So there's going to be those common questions or difficulties that or skepticisms that people have with your product or your service. Put those at the top of the FAQ. I don't have it here, but there's an FAQ section I saw a while back where somebody, was selling a particular online course, and one of the questions or problems or objections that came up frequently was that I don't have an email list. Why should I use your, product or service? And so one of the FAQs was actually a link to a bonus course that they offered that teached people how to start with no email list at all. So an FAQ question is a great way to not only answer common questions, but to overcome common sales objections as well. So if we see in here, we've got a number of different drop downs. This is a great way to do it. You want to make sure that you have some sort of clickable, expandable section. You can just list them out as well, but this is a great way to do it because, as you can see, this is definitely going to save some space for the end user. And the fourth thing that we want to make sure that we do is what we include, and I alluded to this earlier, lots of photos and or video. Remember, we want to show, don't tell us specifically if we're going to be working with some sort of physical product. So let's take a look here. We already saw that we have a video, but if we go through, we can see that we've got lots of beautiful photos, not only of the product itself, so you can see it there, but you can also see all the individual pages inside. Remember, we're selling a physical product in this case online. So it's not like you can just go to the store, take a look, and flip through the pages. So it's really important that we've got all these beautiful photos that show in detail all the different elements of this particular planner. Now the same applies even if you have a digital product. See, as you can see here, if we scroll through, we've got screenshots of all the individual products or individual pieces of software that come within Platform in a Box. You see we're scrolling through, we've got the sales page creator, we've got the book launch creator, the hosting, all those things are demonstrated in a visual way. Then you'll see as well a nice stock photo that works really well to convey the particular person who would be using this product or service. So again, these things are really important. And again, we've got a video in here. So again, show don't tell. It's good to have good copy, but we want to show and demonstrate these. Another good thing to do as well, as you can see, we've got this kind of graphical element that's worked in here to demonstrate kind of a digital product in kind of a physical way. So that's a great way to do it as well. Again, lots of photos. You can see here, it's the video series that's shown within a monitor. So there's a lot of ways that you can get creative with how you show the different photos. As you can see, there's a nice stock photo here in the background. These are really important. You can actually see a nice photo of Michael, who is the creator of the Full Focus Planner. So again, those are really important things to keep in mind when you are creating a sales page. People want to see what it is that they're going to be buying. And the last tip I wanted to give you today is likely the most important, and that is creating packages. Now you don't have to. Sometimes it just works better for the product or service. Maybe you offer coaching and you just have a one set package, one set price. But if you can, it's a good idea to create some sort of pricing packages. And the reason for this is because you can catch people at different levels, right? So maybe you hold back on some features and give a cheaper version for people who are just getting started, or maybe you give an annual option where people can save a little bit, and then you give maybe a quarterly or a monthly option that would be a little bit cheaper to start with. But whatever it is that you do, it's a good idea to create some sort of packages. So as you can see here, we've got an option for the Full Focus Planner where you can do a single planner, which is every 90 days. It's a quarterly planner, so you can just get one planner, which would cover you for a quarter. Or you can get an annual subscription, and this is what most people do, is they're gonna offer a little bit of a discount, or it's gonna be a little bit cheaper to go for an annual option. Similarly, if we were to pop on over to this particular sales page, again, you can see we have a quarterly option and then we have a yearly option. So again, you're going to be saving a little bit if you go yearly. And then in this particular place here, we see here that we've got all of the features listed out. So earlier I said that it's not a good idea to list out features at the primary purpose of creating your sales page, which is true, except for in the actual packages section, right? The packages section is where somebody is getting ready to actually purchase. And at that point, it's a good idea to actually list out the specific things that they're going to get, right? So if you're gonna do a video course, tell them how many videos are gonna be included. Tell them how many hours of content. Tell them what bonuses they're gonna get, right? Those are important things to include in the packages section because that's kind of where the rubber meets the road. Don't use those things as benefits. Don't use those things to sell in the rest of the sales page, but you do need to communicate them so people know exactly what it is that they're purchasing. Okay, so then you also want to have a clear add to cart button that's going to be included as well. As you can see, it's very clear. This is going to be what takes us to the specific checkout page. Okay, so that's it. I know those are some quick tips that we went over there. And just so you know, the sales page over here that we just took a look at for the Notable platform or Platform in a Box is actually something that we created over at Notable Themes. And you can actually purchase this and create your own sales page really simply and easily. Plus we have a bunch of instructional videos. I'll leave a link below if you'd like to check out the sales page theme. If not, I just wanted to give you some of these tools and tips so that you could start creating your own sales pages, whether you're working with a developer or you're building one yourself. These are some of the key aspects of what I've seen have made some really effective sales pages, not only for some of my own sales pages, but also for the customers and clients that I have worked with. So again, as I said earlier in the video, we're going to be coming out with weekly videos. Again, I'm really excited to start getting back into the swing of creating weekly videos of tools, tactics, and techniques, all for building an effective brand online. If you find these useful, as always, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.